Hi guys,
Hi.
it's October. That means it's the scary month. You guys look scary. You guys want to hear something scary that happened today?
Yeah.
Like a real ghost story? Like a for real ghost story? Like everything I'm about to tell you really happened. I'm not making it up. You ready for this? Today, I went to get the clothes out of the washer. I heard the washer turn off, ka-clunk, like it turns off, right? Ends the cycle and goes ka-clunk because it's done. I heard the ka-clunk, so I went in, opened the washer to get the clothes out of it and put them in the dryer. And you know what happened? It turned on all by itself. Totally started running water, full speed, into a washer that was completely finished washing.
I think there may be something wrong with my washer. That is done and off. So why is it filling up with water? What's happening? I don't understand.
So I checked. Wait a minute, am I going crazy? I closed the lid of the washer while the water's still running, and I checked. And what setting is it set on? But off. It is off, and there's water running into our washer that is finished washing. So I said, wait a minute, what's happening here? I didn't unplug it because there was already water in it. Now I need to wait for it to drain, but I don't know if it's gonna go through the whole cycle again. Is there something wrong with the washer? What's happening? So I look again, the setting is still set to off, and it fills all the way up with water, and then it starts washing.
So for the record, it's still off. This washer's not turned on. But clearly, it doesn't know that. It's washing. I don't know what's going on, guys.
But it's still on off. The off switch is still on off. So I don't know why it's still washing or what's going on. So I start investigating. What's happening here? Eventually, the washer did finish, and I discovered what happened.
Okay, false alarm, guys. I figured out what's going on. It's working on the extra rinse cycle because the extra rinse button is pushed down. Usually that's not pushed down, so that's what happened. We're not haunted. It's just an extra rinse cycle.
The extra rinse cycle button had been pushed. So it was just an extra rinse cycle. But it was scary at the time because I didn't know why it was working. Now, okay, so that may not have been a ghost, but I do have one that I can't explain.
Oh, I think I know this.
I already told Jordan the story, but this really happened about 3 weeks ago-ish.
Maybe even a month ago.
Maybe. I think it was between 3 weeks and a month ago. So 3 or 4 weeks ago, Daddy and I sit in the living room to watch TV after the kids go to bed. When Daddy's finished watching TV and he's ready for bed, he switches off the TV, he says goodnight, and he goes to bed. And that's when I start editing today's video. So I edit my video, I turn off the lights in the room that I'm in, and I go sit at the computer and get it uploaded and get it all ready to go. So that's what we did. Daddy turned off the TV and I sat on the couch and edited the video. When I turned off the light in this room, I noticed that the TV was glowing blue. It had been off for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and it was glowing like a grayish blue color. And I thought, well, that's weird. Maybe Daddy didn't turn it all the way off. So I went ahead and took the remote control, turned off the TV, and then walked into the dining room and turned that light off as well. As I was leaving the room, I bumped into one of the stools and it hit my arm really hard, and I thought, ow, that's gonna leave a bruise. That was dumb. I shouldn't have ran into that stool. And then I walked into the office room, our front room, where we have all the computers, and I sat down to upload the video. And while I was waiting for the video to upload, something out the corner of my eye caught my attention. So I looked over, and the light in the dining room had turned back on. So it scared me, and I thought, uh-oh, what was that?
Why didn't you?
So I got a little scared because I didn't know why that turned on, and I thought, did somebody come inside our house while they thought we were all sleeping and open the dining room door, the sliding door in the dining room? So I thought maybe somebody was in here, so I was scared, and I grabbed something close to me, like maybe I could throw it at them if there was somebody in my house. And I walked very slowly and carefully around the corner to see nothing. There was nobody in here. So then I was a little bit freaked out, and I thought, okay, well, I need to go over and make sure that that dining room door is locked. We always keep it locked, but I need to make sure that it didn't get unlocked and nobody noticed. So I walked all the way over to the door to check to see if it was locked, and guess what I found? The door was locked. The light that I had already turned off, and I remember turning it off because I ran into the stool and it hurt my shoulder. It was just like, ow, that's gonna leave a mark, right? Remember? I thought it was gonna bruise my shoulder, so I remember very distinctly turning off the light, and I walked over to check, and the light switch itself was turned back on.
Was it like?
Like that, it wasn't an electricity problem, like, oops, the light, I don't know, the wires got crossed and somehow the light switched itself on, right, because of the electricity. No, the switch itself was turned on.
Like, question, was the TV just was it just...
So I turned off the light and I turned around to leave the dining room, and what did I see? But the TV was glowing that grayish blue color again, and I had to turn it off again.
Could you just see it like on the ground, or like did you look at the TV?
I was leaving the dining room. I was standing in the dining room, and I looked toward the TV, and it was glowing grayish blue color. So I picked up the remote that I had set on Daddy's chair, and I turned the TV off again.
What happened?
So here's the thing, I don't know if maybe I hit the button twice the first time, so it turned it off and turned it right back on, or if something else is a very natural way of describing or explaining what happened. However, I have no explanation. I can only guess as to what may have happened, but that's an unexplained happening twice that happened in our house. Want another one, or is that enough?
I want another one.
Okay, another one. You guys scared yet? Who's shaking in their boots? Okay, here's another one. Daddy, about 2 weeks ago, was asleep in bed. And I was asleep next to him. Completely knocked out, zonked, completely asleep. And Daddy heard the door slam shut. So Daddy thought there was somebody in our house. He thought perhaps one of you guys were up walking around and thought you could find Daddy out in the garage, because maybe Jackson thought, oh, I heard Dad, I'm gonna go out to the garage and find him. So he went to tell Jackson he wasn't in the garage, and what did he find instead? Nothing. All three of you were sound asleep in your beds. There was no explanation whatsoever for what Dad claims to clearly have heard, and that was the door slam shut.
Or just me.
So the explanation to that might be that Dad thought he was awake, but really was dreaming in a half-awake state, and maybe he thought he heard something that wasn't really there. However, he right now, at this moment, would tell you that he distinctly heard what he knows to be that door slam shut. And there was nobody around. The garage was locked.
This is like the time when you're almost falling asleep and then
Exactly.
it's that stupid
Where you're gonna fall off a cliff thing. That's what I think happened, because Daddy remembers being awake. He woke up just before his alarm went off, like he often does, and he was just laying there waiting for his alarm to go off when he says he heard the noise. So the question is, was he really awake, or had he kind of fallen back to sleep and was sort of in between awake and asleep when he thought he heard something that he knows for a fact is really there? So these are all explainable things, so they're not something you guys should be scared of, but it is a mystery. So I thought, since it's October and the Halloween season is kind of disturbed this year, maybe we should tell each other spooky stories. But not too scary, because I don't want you guys to get freaked out.
And we're gonna go to bed.
So those are my scary stories of the day. Okay, time for bed, guys. You have a scary story for me? Okay, tell me your scary story.
So one time I was asleep.
You can take off your scary wig if you want. That's the scary part. It's itchy.
I went to sleep. I went to sleep. And then, for some reason, I heard, Nana and Mia talking. So I woke up, and they were just asleep. That's called a dream.
That's very explainable because while I'm in the house and everyone else is asleep, on multiple occasions I hear you guys often arguing with each other in your sleep. One of you will say something and the other one will answer, and I go check on you to make sure that you're, not awake in the middle of the night talking to each other, and everyone is sound asleep. So yes, they do talk to each other in their sleep.
Weird.
That's kind of more of a weird story than a creepy one,
One
but
that was kind of creepy was I was sitting down. It was about 5 minutes before 6. No, it was 4 o'clock, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, well, dang it, because I know that if I fall back asleep, I'm gonna wake up at 10. It was a weekend, so I didn't really care. And so I was just sitting there trying to fall asleep, and then I muttered something to myself. I don't know what I said. And then I heard Jackson go, huh? Oh, yeah. I was awake when that happened. One time, Nana
did you almost jump out of your skin?
Yes. Oh, tell them about the time where I went. Oh, yeah. It was 6 o'clock, and I was about to go get up and have some breakfast. And so I'm just sitting there, wait. I don't know what I was waiting for. And then Malia, somehow from sleeping, sits up and puts her arms straight up. Like this. Yep. But way fast. And it was super fast. And I was just like,
Well, I have lots of scary stories to tell you guys if you're interested in hearing them, but I'm not going to tell you any more today because I don't want to completely freak you out. This is all meant to be fun, and I don't want to scare you guys. But I think unexplained things are very cool. So if anybody has an unexplained story that might be scary to tell, we'll have to do this again. But for now, I think I better just let my smarty pantses settle down for a bit before bedtime. So,
if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Want to make the channel strong? Share it with your friends. And now, good night, YouTube. See you tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now. Touch it. Poof. Spooky stories are fun.